Max Hoffmann, a highly regarded military strategist, played a pivotal role in shaping the course of World War I on the Eastern Front. While names like Ludendorff and Hindenburg are often associated with Germany's victories in the East, Hoffmann's keen strategic mind was the driving force behind many of their successful operations. His intellectual approach to warfare, combined with his deep understanding of both Russian tactics and the broader political landscape, made him an indispensable figure during the conflict. In this video, we'll explore the life and career of General Max Hoffmann, focusing on his contributions to World War I, particularly on the Eastern Front. We'll also examine his relationship with other German commanders and his lasting legacy in military history. Max Hoffmann was born on January 25, 1869, in Homburg, Prussia. His family came from a modest background, but Hoffmann's intelligence and ambition were evident from a young age. He attended the Prussian Military Academy, where he excelled in his studies and developed a reputation as a bright and promising officer. Before the outbreak of World War I, Hoffmann had already gained significant experience in military planning and operations. His time spent in Russia as a military attaché gave him a deep understanding of Russian military strategies and the geography of the Eastern Front. This knowledge would prove invaluable during the war, as Hoffmann became one of the leading figures in Germany's efforts to outmaneuver the Russian forces. One of Hoffmann's most significant contributions came during the early stages of World War I at the Battle of Tannenberg in August 1914. This battle, which pitted the German Eighth Army against two Russian armies, became one of the most famous victories for the Germans on the Eastern Front. Although much of the credit for the victory was given to General Paul von Hindenburg and his chief of staff, Erich Ludendorff, Hoffmann was the true architect of the battle plan. Hoffmann's understanding of the Russian army's weaknesses allowed him to craft a strategy that capitalized on their lack of coordination. He proposed a daring maneuver to encircle and annihilate the Russian Second Army, led by General Alexander Samsonov, while keeping the Russian First Army at bay. Hoffmann's plan worked brilliantly, resulting in a devastating defeat for the Russians, with over 90,000 soldiers captured and tens of thousands killed. The success at Tannenberg boosted the morale of the German army and established Hoffmann's reputation as a brilliant strategist. However, his role in the victory was often overshadowed by the more senior commanders, Hindenburg and Ludendorff, who received most of the public acclaim. Following the victory at Tannenberg, Hoffmann continued to play a crucial role in German operations on the Eastern Front. His deep knowledge of Russian military tactics allowed him to devise plans that consistently outmaneuvered the Russian forces. One of his key achievements was during the Second Battle of the Masurian Lakes in February 1915, where German forces once again dealt a heavy blow to the Russians. Hoffmann's strategies were marked by a focus on mobility and encirclement. He believed in striking quickly and decisively, often using the terrain to his advantage. His ability to anticipate the movements of the Russian army allowed the Germans to maintain the upper hand in many engagements. Throughout the Eastern Front campaigns, Hoffmann worked closely with Hindenburg and Ludendorff, but it was often his planning and foresight that led to their successes. Despite his growing influence, Hoffmann remained somewhat in the background, as the German High Command preferred to highlight the contributions of more senior officers. However, his impact on the Eastern Front was undeniable. His strategies helped prevent a full Russian breakthrough and kept the Eastern Front relatively stable, allowing Germany to focus more resources on the Western Front. One of Hoffmann's most significant contributions to World War I was not on the battlefield, but at the negotiating table. As the Russian Empire began to collapse due to internal unrest and the Bolshevik Revolution in 1917, the new Soviet government sought to exit the war. This led to the negotiations that culminated in the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk in March 1918. Hoffmann was one of the key German negotiators during the treaty discussions. His deep knowledge of Russia, both militarily and politically, made him an invaluable asset during the negotiations. Hoffmann advocated for harsh terms, as he believed that a weakened Russia would serve Germany's long-term interests. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was a major victory for Germany. It forced Russia to cede vast territories, including Ukraine, Belarus, and the Baltic states, to Germany and its allies. Hoffmann's role in securing these favorable terms further solidified his reputation as a shrewd strategist. However, the treaty also had long-term consequences. As the harsh terms contributed to future tensions between Germany and the Soviet Union after the war, Hoffmann's military career continued, although he did not rise to the same level of prominence as Hindenburg or Ludendorff. He retired from the army in 1919 and devoted much of his time to writing about his experiences during the war. Hoffmann's memoirs, published in 1925 under the title The War of Lost Opportunities, offered a detailed account of his time on the Eastern Front and his views on the strategic mistakes made by both the German and Allied forces. In his memoirs, Hoffmann was highly critical of the German High Command, particularly Ludendorff. He argued that many opportunities to secure a decisive victory on the Eastern Front were missed due to poor decision-making and infighting among senior commanders. Hoffmann's memoirs also revealed his frustration at being overshadowed by Hindenburg and Ludendorff, despite his significant contributions to their successes. Hoffmann's post-war life was marked by a sense of unfulfilled potential. Although he had been one of the most important strategists of World War I, he never received the same level of recognition as his peers. Nevertheless, his writings remain an important source for historians studying the Eastern Front and German military strategy during the war. Max Hoffmann's legacy is often viewed through the lens of his strategic brilliance and his role in shaping the Eastern Front during World War I. His ability to outmaneuver the Russian forces and his pivotal role in securing the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk demonstrated his deep understanding of both military and political strategy. Hoffmann's contributions to the war effort were significant, even if they were not always fully recognized during his lifetime. While Hindenburg and Ludendorff became national heroes, Hoffmann remained in their shadow, despite being the intellectual force behind many of their victories. His critical assessments of the war, particularly in his memoirs, provide valuable insights into the missed opportunities and flawed decisions that shaped the outcome of the conflict. Today, Hoffmann is remembered as one of the most capable strategists of World War I, particularly for his contributions on the Eastern Front. His legacy, though often overshadowed by more prominent figures, remains a testament to the importance of strategic thinking and careful planning in warfare. Thank you for watching our video on General Max Hoffmann, one of World War I's most brilliant but often overlooked strategists. If you enjoyed learning about his role in shaping the Eastern Front and the impact of his decisions on the course of the war, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Heroes Historia for more deep dives into historical figures and events. Let us know your thoughts on Max Hoffmann's legacy in the comments below. We look forward to hearing from you, and as always, stay tuned for more exciting history content from Heroes Historia.